Hello, this is Rye Kaufman again here outside of Topeka, Kansas, and I am doing my fourth presentation. This is Discovery Education. I'm actually going to show you um, it is kind of I've only worked with Discovery Education a few times. I really was impressed with it. However, that was a long time ago, about 5 years ago, which is centuries in the technology world. Um, but they do have some, you can get a subscription. Like I said, it's pretty expensive. And the district bought it and I used it all the time, showed videos, had projects. Um, but I am going to show one today specifically. If you go through here, they do have lesson plans and they have virtual field trips. That's somewhere that's new. Um, so if you want to watch, I guess I'm going to click on this. This is just, I haven't explored this too much because I just wanted to show you one resource that they have that I absolutely love, that I've had almost 100% success on. And so they have some lesson ideas and they have some videos, and I'll play this just for 2 seconds. Once it gets going.
Good afternoon and welcome to a very special program that's rather
And then you've got your lesson ideas. And so you kind of get the idea, because this is not what not my main objective here. So it's pretty cool. I did use it for a lot of the streaming. I haven't worked on the textbooks. Now, what I wanted to show you was one of their lessons plans, which I think is some of the best stuff that I've ever worked with. This is the dirt on soil, and the reason I find this very interesting, I'm a science teacher and I teach biology, earth space, and chemistry. And this could be used for ecology, biology, and not so much the chemistry side. I do have, so this is very, very specific to my curriculum. So you, as a whole, you guys may not be able to use this, but I think it's just really neat and I like showing it off. I've taught this to 7th graders, to seniors, and the same lesson, and each of them were able to derive information from it. I taught this to seniors and they absolutely loved it. I had 95% of my students working. One was passed out probably from activities from the night before, and didn't work, but everybody else was working and working well with their partners because they found it so interesting. And for me, it's a big push because a lot of our students, even if they're in rural or urban, do not know how important soil is and what soil and dirt consist of and why it's important to know about it, because it is a natural resource and it is something that it is not a very easily renewable resource as well. And so once it's gone, or it takes years, just as we saw in the Dust Bowl. And that if we don't have good soil, we're not able to have plants that provide nutrients for our animals and for ourselves. Okay, so they provide, and it's an agri-science, environmental science, and so that means it can be used in different fields. It's not just specific with the environmental science. Because I have taught this in about 4 different classes. So you open it up with this. You can post this on Google Classrooms or some other format so they can pull it up. A lot of my students like to just have paper. So the first one, they do need to read the directions, which is a task. So the first place to go is to go down and dirty, and it shows the different types of soil. You fill in that question, it's context clues, and it's straight closed reading activity. Then you go to name that soil, which is right here on the left-hand side. And you fill in the table, which is nice. Then they can see gravel versus sand and silt, not slit, silt, and then clay. And then we get to show, and then later on I do two more experiments showing the permutation, the ability of water to go through each of those. And then one of my goals is to show a freezing and thawing process of each of those too, and why it's important to have those. So I'm babbling right now, but then lastly is soil safari. When I go back here, I'm going to go back to this. If you do this lesson, and then we have the different types, and then name that soil, and I would make sure that they write it. That's the plus of having it in the computer, because the graph actually moves along so that they can have a larger size. If not, I've had students just write one word and it's not very successful. So going back to the best part of it is you go to Soil Safari, and you have to read the directions just like this, and then I will show you this too. The last thing on this is that 2 other facts while exploring, and it could be really vague. I just really kind of support them just searching, and we'll go down to that bottom part. So we're going to get in. You have to read the day. Hi, I'm back here, but I'm going to go back out. I'm going to reboot this. I have to give you guys some prior knowledge. There was a toxic spill, and they need to find out a way to be able to get rid of that toxin. So we've got chemistry there, and then we have the ecology showing that bacteria and other soil organisms can help regulate toxins, even though it's rare. Okay, so a toxic has spilled, making it through the underground water, teaching aquifers, and it will destroy this metal in life unless you can have something to do it. So we get in, and you have to read the instructions here. And then I'm going to activate my tractor beam. Okay, I'm going to scan area. Now we have to choose the size. Now the scale, the size, that means this is another fundamental where we're teaching mathematics, and that this is pretty small. 300 is 30 cents. That's about a foot. Then we go through, and this is about the width of the hair, which is all in the instructions right here. So I'm going to thrust forward. I'm going to go to the scale, and I'm getting to the hole. Now I'm going to keep clicking my thrust button. And so now I'm actually in the soil, and you read here, it's about a foot across, 12 inches across. Don't forget to scan. So we can scan the area. This is nice topsoil. So again, and then we're going here, stretching. Oh, plant root. Is there anything here? Okay, so okay, so this is a good activity for them to read. That's something that they can say, oh, that's one thing that I can do. Okay. Was that the target match for the toxin? No. Oh, but there's a night crawler. That was one of our nematodes, no, night crawlers. What end survives? It cuts in 2. So we look at the field guide, night crawler, and lifespan 12 years. Contents. Oh. Then we go move over. Blah 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 blah. Huh. And that's something I just learned, is that it's not native to North America, but they're very helpful. And then we got to keep reading. again, and basically it's the longer of the two. Okay. Okay, so there you go. I'm going to close it. Okay, so I go in and I'll type in the longer of the two parts. So there we go. Okay. Well, then you go through and you thrust and you get smaller and you can get really small. That's the tree root, and then I scan, and actually they have to go through a whole thing, and that's the bacteria. Target match, yes. And scan area now. I did activate. And then it takes me to the kitchen sink, meaning we saved the water quality and the meadow. Woohoo! So, again, this is the dirt on soil. I really like this activity. I think it's fun. It gives something for the kids to do, and it's at various levels. High schoolers can do this, and other kids. Now, down here, because I have it on my work computer, there are 2 or 3 of them, and this is online. Just look up the Dirt on Soil worksheet. This is online, so you can go and find out, but do please on these here down below check these out, because there's a couple of them that don't work. They just aren't there anymore, and I wasn't very fond with it. I would replace it with something a little bit better. So, alrighty, thank you and have a good night.